Hello and welcome. I'm Zombie Kitty and welcome to another security breach video. But this is not going to be on the game. I will be returning to that. If you didn't see the last video, I'll be returning to that in mid-February when the next update patch comes out. And we're going to do a lot of the other endings at that point. But I wanted to just stay on security breach for the moment. A while ago, I think it was a few weeks ago now, someone sent me a link to something called a tier list. So I thought this would just be a fun video to do on making a tier list of all of the security breach characters. So if you don't know what a tier list is, it's this basically. So it's putting each character into the columns from best to worst. So S is, you know, they're perfect, you love them, blah blah blah. D is the one you didn't like the most. You will notice, I'll put this in the video, but you will notice there's a black block at the bottom of the screen. Those are covering up 3 characters that I have not encountered in game yet. I do know about these characters because again, the game's been out for about a month and a half now, so spoilers are a thing now. So I do know about these particular characters. However, I am aware that there are some people who have been watching my security breach series as the first time they've actually seen the game. So in game, I have not encountered these characters, so I didn't want to include them, just because I didn't want to spoil it for anyone. I thought this would just be an interesting idea to do because it would also give me, it would also allow me to actually talk about the characters. Now how I'm actually going to calculate this is I'm going to look at the characters' designs, but I'm also going to look at how they worked and their mechanics and appearances in the game that I played. So this will take into account the playthrough that I had and the experience that I had. So let's start off. So I put them in order already of what I want to start off with. And I want to start off first with Gregory. So Gregory is the kid that you play in Security Breach. I think actually, in terms of what he is, I think he's actually one of the best characters or protagonists that you play. Michael was cool, Michael was interesting. If you don't know Michael Afton, who you play in 1, 3 and Sister Location, I think he was interesting, but there was a lot of, and obviously that's for the game's sake, there was a lot of, you know, he'll do what the game tells him to do, even though it doesn't make sense that he'll do that. So for example in Sister Location, he goes into the scooping room, but now can't get out for whatever reason. But Gregory, I think, is a really interesting character. In terms of, he's basically a badass. We've done some of the endings by now. We've done a couple of the bad endings. And there is one where he literally orders robots to rip Vani apart. Which, he's done more to the animatronics than any of the other protagonists and characters have done. Well, apart from William. I think in terms of actual mechanics, the running mechanic didn't always work. It did frustrate me a lot. There's a couple with dialogue things that he says that I thought was a little odd. So when we go into the endoskeleton tunnel, the first door that opens, he was like, oh, that wall just moved. It's like, yeah, it's a door. I don't know what you expected that button to do, but it's a door. However, I am going to put him at A, because I do actually quite like Gregory, and this is me, I am recording this a couple of days later because I wanted to have time to properly think about actually what I thought of the game, what I thought of the characters, and obviously I was getting frustrated in the moment, but actually I wanted to give it time to actually think about what I thought of the game and characters before I did this, and I actually quite like Gregory. I think he's a really cool character. There's just a couple of things mechanic wise that I thought was a bit annoying and a bit frustrating. But I think honestly, actually, in terms of characters that you play in the franchise, I think he's actually one of the best ones. Moving on to the next one, and that is Vanessa. So Vanessa is the night guard and was also rumoured to be Vani. Now I'm not going to say anything. In terms of game, we didn't really see her that much. We didn't really see her that much as much as I wanted to see her. I kind of forgot she was there, to be honest. Her sort of personality was a bit all over the place, and even in terms of what the trailers advertised her as and what she was in game was very different. In the trailers she was seen as sympathetic and she was going to help you escape, and then obviously in this she's like raw, angry, blah blah blah. So it's just like, I would have preferred her to be sympathetic and kind, and then Vani showed up and it was the same person and it was a split personality. Because in game I was like, well, of course you're Vani, because why wouldn't you be? You are acting like a villain right from the get-go. But in the trailer it would have been interesting to have her have a split personality. I'm going to put her at a C. I don't hate her, but I think she could have been more prominent in the game. I think she could have appeared a lot more, and I don't like actually what Stillwar did to her character in the game compared to the trailers. So, but I do think she's an interesting character. So yeah, I'm going to put her as a C. So next one, Glam Freddy. So Glam Freddy is obviously the one who helps you to survive the night. He's voiced by Kellen Goff, who also voiced Moondrop and Sunrise, and he's previously voiced Funtime Freddy in Sister Location. I think the voice acting's really, really good. I immediately loved Glam Freddy, and I think the idea of Freddy being good is a really, really cool idea. It really changes things up from what you're expecting, and I really liked it. The calling Freddy thing didn't always work, but how that AI works is Freddy will, when you call Freddy, Freddy will run to the last place that you went to. So if you stop, call him and then move, he'll go to that last place that you just stopped. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the mechanic of you getting into Freddy and running around. I really, really enjoyed that. And again, it was an interesting sort of change to what we're expecting and what we're used to. Freddy is going to go here, because I didn't really have any issues with him. I think he's a fantastic character. I'm not going to include the upgrade systems because I don't think that's very fair to include it with his character, even though yes, obviously we're doing that. But I'm looking at it in terms of actually the mechanics and how you use these characters and that kind of thing. But yeah, I loved this character. Right from the get-go, I thought this character was great. So, we're now on to the rest of the Glam Rocks. Chica! Buddy! Pow! So this is Chica before she gets trampled by the trash compactor. I didn't really mind this version of Chica, to be honest. She was quite bugged, and actually I did think she was the villain of the game because she was the one who appeared the most. This is the first Chica design that I've actually really liked. I'd never really liked Chica as a character, I'd never really liked their design, but this one I really, really like, to the point where I want to cosplay this. But in terms of mechanics, she was quite bugged. Her AI was quite unfair. The biggest example of this is in the whole loading dock section. That was extremely unfair. But her in general, especially when you're going through to that first office at the starting point of that after you've been chased by Music Man, that whole section was ridiculous. But yeah, I really like her design. I think she's an interesting character. It's kind of a shame that she was the one that appeared the most. I'm probably going to put you at a B. Like, not horrible, but not anything amazing. Yeah, I really liked her design, but yeah, it was just, she seemed to be the villain more than Vani. And some of her mechanics were quite broken, which was a shame. So next one, Monty Gator. We didn't really see Monty Gator in the game, to be honest. Again, this is before he gets broke. Oh, I guess that's not really going to count. We didn't go into Monty Gator yet. Monty Golf yet. So the only time we sort of saw him a lot was during the DJ Music Man section. I don't really like his design that much, to be honest. I think it's fine, but yeah, I don't really like him too much. I do like his voice actor. I think his voice is really cool, and the mechanic of him pouncing at you is terrifying whenever it wanted to work. Whenever it wanted to work, it was terrifying, but it was very broken. His mechanics were quite unfair, and I also didn't like that actually you couldn't really stop him. Monty, my buddy, sorry, but you're going at D. I didn't really like you that much. I do think it was interesting though that you had the mystery of what happened to Bonnie and that he was a replacement. So I do think that's interesting, but there's just too much that I don't like about him. So, next one is Roxanne. Again, we didn't really see normal Roxanne too much. We saw her a little bit, especially in Roxy Raceway. Roxy I really like the design of. I think she's really cool. And I think the other thing I like about the Glam Rocks is, like, with being polite as possible, like the mental disorders they had, I thought was interesting. So obviously Chica had an eating disorder, Roxanne has self-esteem issues, Monty seemed to have anger issues, and then Glam Rock Freddy, him being nice seemed to be him broken, which was interesting. So he should have been hacked and gone evil as well, but he didn't. He actually went good, which was interesting. But I think it was really interesting to have these, the side effects to their upgrades were these problems that they had. And I think Roxanne is actually the saddest one, because you just want to give her a hug, but also she's terrifying. And again, her voice actress, is really, really good. She definitely sort of scared me. Mechanic wise, I think she worked okay actually. It was just her area was very blaggy. But I'm probably going to give her an A, because I didn't really have too many problems with her before her eyes were taken. Okay, let's go on to the withered animatronics then. The broken ones. So, broken Chica. Really cool design. Really, really cool design. And the sounds, because we've taken her voice box by this point, the sounds that she made were terrifying. They were really scary and really freaked me out. But she got very annoying. And again, I already mentioned this in the episode that this happened in, but her being in Phaser Blast really sucked. And she shouldn't have been there. I apologise if my mic's picking up a helicopter in the background. That's what it is. But that really, really sucked. And again, Chica didn't need to be the prominent character in this game. Like, I did end up just seeing her as the villain instead of Vani. You're gonna go... I'm thinking either B or C. I'm going to give you C, because while I liked her withered design and the sounds that she made, this is where the game started showing its issues in terms of mechanics, and this is how I'm also going to judge them as well, just because obviously everyone seemed to have different playthroughs of this because of the issues that the game had, and she was the one that caused me the most issues throughout the game, especially after she got crushed. I think also the fact that I thought the animatronics, once they got decommissioned, I thought they were just going to be gone. I don't really like that they just kept coming after you after that. That was a little unfair, and actually it could have been interesting to have them sort of, once they were decommissioned, just not be there. Withered Monty. Now, I'm going to put him at a D. The reason for that is because I actually like the Withered Monty design. However, we haven't gone into Monty Golf. So this is going to be a weird one where actually I put him at D not because I hate it, but because we haven't seen him. We haven't seen this version of him. I'm going to be doing that again once the update happens, because I know that's going to be a pain. Next one is Withered Roxanne. So this is after you get her eyes. I really like this design. I really like the mechanic of she suddenly can't see but her hearing improves. And that whole section where you're going through like the burning room and those sort of broken building, and she's like charging through the doors. That was really, really cool. Again, that was terrifying. I'm going to put you maybe an A. Both Roxy's are an A. Yeah, I really, really liked this design. I really liked the mechanic. The cutscene was really funny. And yeah. So next one is Glam Bonnie. Now, again, Bonnie doesn't actually, as far as I know, doesn't appear in the game. But we obviously get the Bonnie Bowl. We start getting details of something went wrong with Bonnie. We don't know what. I have my theories, but I'm not going to say it in this video. I'm going to leave that till when I come back to this game. But I think the mystery of Bonnie is really, really interesting. However, we don't see Bonnie. We don't see Bonnie in the game. And again, it's only sort of briefly mentioned at the moment of what happened. I am going to put you at a C. Again, just because we don't really see Bonnie, but I really like the mystery. I really like his design, and I just think, yeah, his sort of backstory and the mystery around him is really interesting. So I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm going to put them both here. I'm going to put both Moondrop and Sunrise here in its S column or row. I think these are my favourite characters in the game. These are my favourite characters in the game. I absolutely loved these characters. The daycare section and you going around in the dark to get all the generators. Yes, that was very frustrating. However, it was also terrifying. That section really activated my fight or flight response. And I don't think a horror game has ever done that, or a game in general has ever done that to me. So, yeah, you guys are going straight at the top. I loved it. I also loved that Moon and Sun were the same animatronic, but also Sun was aware that if the lights went off, he knew what he turned into. I thought that was really interesting. It's a shame that they weren't in the game for very long. Well, I guess Moondrop was at every hour. But it is a shame that Sun wasn't in the game for very long. I really wish or hope that when still will do DLC, because there is going to be DLC for this game eventually, I do hope that they appear more, because yeah, I loved these characters. So yeah, sorry, I'm going to be biased with that one. But, however, yeah, they're going straight at the top. Endoskeletons. Another section that was terrifying. So this was where you went into the tunnels and they were essentially weeping angels. So if you didn't look at them and turn around, they started moving. You look at them, they stop. Thinking back on it, the only issue that I had with that whole section was that once you get to the security office, there wasn't a save point. That's kind of the only issue I had. So if you messed up, you had to do all of that section again. However, once I eventually realised what the map was, it wasn't actually that long. But I think that whole area was really interesting, especially with and I didn't notice at the time when I was playing, but I think I put a text in. Some of the doors, so they had pictures of how the endoskeletons should treat the kids. And anything that was good, of like, yay, heal the kids, and there was a tick at the top, that was crossed out in purple. Now, purple colouring is very important in the franchise. And even when we went into the security office, there was that purple drawing of the rabbit and the endoskeleton having bunny ears. Yeah, where am I going to put you? I think at the same time though, that I'm going to put him in A, because at the same time, the endoskeletons were scary, that whole section was creepy and terrifying, but I think there needed to be a save station in the security office for that section, because it was a bit annoying otherwise. The next one is Music Man. So this was the little wind-up toy that chased you every time you went to the vent. I'm very undecided on this mechanic, because I thought it was a really cool mechanic to have him, every time you went to the vent, have him chase you. However, I didn't really like that it was every single vent. A Music Man, so this was the Music Man from Pizzeria Simulator. I don't really like Music Man's design, to be honest. And it was kind of annoying that it was every vent that he chased you in. Especially when I went back, or was going back into Glam Chica's room. I wanted to take my time with that bit. I didn't want to end up rushing through it. Especially since I couldn't remember where Glam Chica's vent was. So you're gonna go at a D. Because while I like the mechanic, again, it was just utilised a bit too much. I don't really like his design anyway, I never really have. And yeah, interesting mechanic, but used way too much. However, DJ Music Man. So this was an area that I had a lot of problems with. This is an area that took me 3 days to get through. The map is really, really cool. The Fazcade actually looks amazing, but there were too many security bots in that area. DJ Music Man, I actually really do like this design. I didn't at first when I saw the trailer, and then actually seeing him in game and seeing how big he is, and especially when you get to that first lever and he looks through the door. That scared the crap out of me. That really scared me. But that was awesome. I'm trying to think. And I guess even that chase sequence was really fun. Even when I knew it was going to happen because it was in the trailer. I'm going to put you at an A. Because I do really like your design. The Fazcade was awesome. But there were too many security bots. I had a lot of issues with that area. And I will see that area in hell. Next to the loading dock. So the next one, security bot. Oh boy, security bot. Okay, so take away the fact that I think overall, DJ Music Man area was the one where I was like, there's too many security bots, you don't need this many. But I do really like the design of these robots, and even the cleaning bots as well. I'll put the cleaning bots actually in with this one too. I do really like their design. I think it's really, really cool. And it's really simplistic, looks really, really nice. There were too many bots in the DJ Music Man area. However, I didn't really, from what I remember, I didn't really have too much of an issue with them otherwise. Especially when you can go around with Freddy. It's just their AI system was a little wonky. There were definitely moments where they'd start spinning round and you think they were gonna go back round and then suddenly they go forward or something. So their pathways seem to be a bit janky. I'm going to put security bots at a B. They're kind of giving me a bad taste in my mouth at the moment, but I do like their design, and actually I didn't really have too much of an issue with them aside from Fazcade. Cleaner bots again, didn't really have too much of an issue with. I'd probably put them at a B as well. Yeah, maybe at a B. Like, I didn't really have too much of an issue with them. They look really, really nice. as well, and I actually do like their design. But yeah, they were just happily sweeping the floors. And weren't really bothering anyone. But especially in the loading dock area, their AI system was broken. I think it was in the bloopers and scares video that I did for this, where I was hiding and had been for a while, and then they suddenly sounded an alarm, even though they'd never seen me. So that was a little annoying. Nightmare bots, however, were really cool. Were really, really cool, and I like that they looked like the marionette. It was a nice sort of reference to the past games, and the whole idea of actually the staff bot program being put in, or my theory of them being made by Vanessa and slowly taking over the facility was really interesting, and the fact that she'd painted like all the old ones underground. The picture here is of a jump scare that you get if you fails at one point. So there was a section where we were underground and you had to walk across these wooden planks. If you fell off them, you got this jump scare in the picture, which is in the trailer. However, I never actually messed that bit up, so we didn't see that, unfortunately. But the jump scare is really cool. Again, it's in the final trailer. It is really cool. I might put you at an A. Because mechanic wise, I don't think you were too bad. Aside from in the Vani chase. Actually no, I'm going to put you a B. Because I remember in that Vani chase bit. And you were a pain then. Next one is Mapbot. Mapbot had the biggest jump scares, I think. But I thought that was really funny. The FNAF games have had trolling moments before. So Ultimate Custom Night, when you start up the game, it asks you to adjust your volume. The second you press a button, it jump scares you. Like, and I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head, but I'm sure there have been some, where the franchise has always been a bit trolly at times. And I think this was a really funny example of like this having the biggest jump scare, but actually it's something very innocent. It is a little unfair that it did have the biggest jump scare though, but I don't know, I quite liked it. And the design of this Mapbot is really cool. I know a lot of people found it annoying, but I actually thought it was quite funny. So I'm going to put you... Am I really putting you in an S? I might put you in an S. I'm putting Mapbot at an S. That's what I'm doing. Next one is the Circus Baby robot, which we found in the Bonnie Bowl. These weren't really... They didn't really make much of an appearance. But I thought it was interesting that they looked like Circus Baby. Circus Baby is Elizabeth Afton, who is one of William's kids. So I thought that was interesting, what the robots, or some of the robots, looked like this. However, we don't really see them that much. And actually I was thankful they didn't really bother us too much. But yeah, we didn't really see them that much. It was cool, an interesting design, and it was interesting to figure out, or trying to think of why they looked like that. I might put you at a C. Because again, we didn't really see Circus Baby Bot that much. They didn't alert anyone, thankfully. They weren't really there to harm us. And I think the sort of mystery of why they looked like that was interesting. But yeah, they just didn't appear very much. And they weren't really doing anything. They were just sort of there. So they're going to be at a C. The cleaning sign bot. They look really cute. However, again, they're just kind of there. I'm sorry to anyone, but I'm going to put them at a D. Just because, again, they were just sort of there. They weren't doing anything. But their design is really, really cute. So next one, Helpy. I'm really glad that Stillwell brought Helpy back. Helpy was in Pizzeria Simulator. And I love Helpy. I think he's adorable. And I'm really glad that he was brought back for this. He's more of a mascot for the staff. So you see him on the save stations. Well, you don't really see it on my version because everything was blurry. But he is supposed to be on the save stations. He's on all of the, like, you know, this area is closed, construction signs. He's in, like, anything to do with staff and staff announcements, he's there. And I think he's adorable. He's even been on, like, or appeared on, like, the patch articles that Stillwell has sent out, which I think is really cute. He's like the mechanic, or like, yeah, he is the staff mascot of the pizzeria. So I do really like that. I think he's adorable. He is going to go, I'm going to put you in an A. I'm not going to put you in an S just because he's not like Bonnie. He doesn't really appear as an actual character. He's just there for signage and for the staff. But I still think he's really adorable, and I like the fact that he stayed on this time as a staff mascot for the pizzeria. So, last one. This is going to be the most difficult for me. Vani. So, we didn't really see Vani. The character that was supposed to be the villain of the game, I think I saw in the Lost and Found section, and I like her introduction of, you've got to get out of this room before she gets to you. You can see her coming down the stairs, and that to me, I was really happy about it when I saw that. But that to me was also a really cool mechanic and a really cool timed section. I do like the fact that when she gets near you, everything gets distorted, like the sound goes all horrible and weird. I think that's really, really cool. Her design, I absolutely love. I really like this character. However, I do need to think about in-game as well. And this is where the problems are going to come in. Because we saw her at the Lost and Found section. She was there for the ending chase bit, which again, I've already mentioned this in the last episode, or episode beforehand. It was too dark in that section, and that was kind of annoying. But the whole idea of we've got to get to her hideout before she gets us, I really, really liked that. But we don't really see her apart from that. For someone who was supposed to be the main villain of the game, she didn't really appear very much. So you kind of forgot about her, and I kind of did, which is a shame. Because again, I do love this character, and I think Stillwell could have done more with her. And again, according to the trailers, she was supposed to be there a lot more, and that all got scrapped. I guess because they ran out of time. Where am I gonna put you? Because I don't want to. I've already been biased with Sun and Moon. I don't really want to be biased with you, to be honest. Oh, this is difficult. You're the last one. Where are you going to go? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But look, I'm going to be biased with this. I'm going to be biased with this. I'm going to put you in an A. I'm sorry. I know that's going against what I said at the beginning of the video. But I love the character too much. There is potential with her character, and actually I hope Stillwell put all of the scrap content back into the game. Now that the game has been released, they have time to do that, and they have all the time to do that. They're not really, as far as I'm aware, they're not really stuck down into a deadline now. So they have time to put all the stuff that they wanted to put into the game back into the game, now that the deadline is done. And I really hope they do. I also hope there's more stuff with Vani as well, because I think she is a really cool character, and I think she's really interesting. But yeah, just in my playthrough, she didn't really appear very much, even though I do like her design. I like the idea behind her character, and I like the sounds and the visual effects that happen when she gets near you. I think that's really interesting. But this is what my chart looks like. Obviously everyone is going to have different opinions. This is just my opinions of where I think all the characters fall into place on the tier list, in terms of what they look like, their appearances, what their mechanics were, and how my experience with them in the game was. Everyone's going to have their different opinions, but yeah, this is my tier list. There you go. This is my one. I will put the link to this in the description below if you guys want to make your own one. If you do, I'd be interested to see what your ones are. Maybe tag me on Twitter or something. My Twitter's down below as well in the description. But yeah, if you do go off and do this for yourself, I would be really interested to know where the characters fall in place for you. But I just thought this would be a fun little video to do. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!